òtítọ́ mọ́ méje wá agbára ìṣẹ́gun ni fún wa ẹ̀tàn mọ́lẹ̀ òtítọ́ ẹ̀yin màlàíkà mímọ́ ẹ̀tàn mọ́lẹ̀ òtítọ́ ẹ̀yin màlàíkà mímọ́ ògo ni fún Baba ògo ni fún Ọmọ ẹ̀tàn mọ́lẹ̀ òtítọ́ ẹ̀yin màlàíkà mímọ́ ògo ni fún orúkọ rẹ̀ ègbé ni f'Èṣù ègbé ni fún Èṣù àti fúnṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ̀ ègbé ni fún Èṣù àti fúnṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ̀ bàbá ti gégùn fún ọmọ ti gégùn fún ègbé ni fún Èṣù àti fúnṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ̀ ègbé ni fáwọn tó tẹ̀lé. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. So reading from the book of Psalms, written by King David, says, a psalm of David, the servant of the Lord, who spake unto the Lord the words of this song of the day that the Lord delivered him from the hand of all his enemies and from the hand of Saul. And this was what he wrote. We know how King Saul became envious of King David. After they returned from the war, and the women were singing, Saul has killed his thousands, and David has killed his 10,000s. That was the beginning of the problem. Envy is the spirit of murder. Envy always leads to murder. Remember the case of Cain and Abel, the case of Joseph as well. So it was this envy of David by King Saul that made him chase him out of the land, even though King David was his son-in-law, married to his daughter. Yet he tried to kill him. He tried to use his daughter as an instrument to kill him, but God spared the life of King David. And several times he chased him all over the place. And there was a time he even came very close to catching David, but God again diverted him. Mommy, can you turn him? This wasn't, So this is the psalm King David wrote after God delivered him from the hand of all his enemies, including that of Saul. So Saul was a special enemy. He was what's called a relentless enemy that never relented in chasing after King David. Even after David had a chance to kill him and he spared his life, he still never stopped because the spirit of his sanity had overcome Saul. The spirit of the Lord left him. So this psalm is a psalm of thanksgiving, the testimony of God's answer to prayers. If you read starting from verse 8, but it says that, from verse 7, it said, in my distress, verse 6, I called upon the Lord and cried unto my God. See? In my distress, when it was the point of death, when Saul was closing upon him, he cried unto the Lord. And he said, he heard my voice and out of his temple, and my cry came before him even to his ears. It's very important. It shows that God answers prayer. The Bible says that God is not far from us. He's next to us, even next to our mouth. We think that our prayers will travel 180,000 miles or whatever. No, God is right next to you because God is everywhere present. If you call upon him, even in the middle of the sea, he will rescue you. So there's assurance of God answering prayers. And this passage we read about the response of God to his prayer. How when God heard his cries of the distress, imagine a young child or even a cub of a bear, the mother hearing the distress cry of her cub. Nothing can stand in that mother's way. If you're there, she will tear you to pieces without even looking twice. The same with a human child. The mother hears the cry of the baby. Immediately she runs. That was the same cry that God heard. Because he said David was a man after my own heart. David was very special in God's sight until he went to commit sin with Bathsheba and killed her husband. So the cry of that voice moved gods who get out of his holy temple and rush to rescue him. Well, the first question is, if you were in King David's shoes and you cried like King David cried, would God rush out as he rushed for King David? That's the first question, because for God to move out like that, it meant that he really responded to King David's prayer. He wanted to deliver him because King David was special to him. You too can be special to God. If your hands are clean, your ways are pure before him. You too can be special that even before you pray, God was answering your prayers. He said Elijah was a man like us with same passions, same desires, same hearts. And he prayed, and there was no rain for 3.5 years, and he prayed again, and rain came. So there's nothing special before God, somebody special, in the sense that what he honors most is our righteousness and obedience to his commandments. You know, King David wrote that your word is a light to my path and a light to my feet. King David really honored God's word and obeyed him. So he was close to God in that way. So when my cry came before him, even to his ears, that means God really heard that cry. Can you imagine King David on this earth and his cry going straight up to God's ears? That was not a normal cry. It was a cry of a heartfelt cry from somebody who loved God so much. David said, I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of God than to be elsewhere. He really loved God. And God also loved him. So then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills moved and was shaking because he was wrath. Now God was angry. He said, whoa, who wants to kill my son? Who wants to kill my son? And he was angry. Does God react like that when you pray to him? Does he rise himself up in anger and rushes to help you? He can, if your hands are clean, if you are obedient to him, if you love his word, obey him. We will get the same response from God. So there went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. That means God was so angry that smoke was coming out of his ears, and fire from his mouth. All those things symbolize God's anger at what he was going to do, who was troubling his child. So he bowed the heavens also and came down. So the heavens like a cloth covering for God's house. He bowed them down and said, I'm coming to rescue my son. You know, he didn't send angel Michael. He could easily have sent an angel. No. God himself showed up in response to David's prayer because of David's life. That was the reason why. That some people, when they pray, God doesn't send angels to help them. He himself shows up. Jesus himself shows up in response to their prayers. How high God regards them. And darkness was under his feet, and he rode upon a cherub and did fly. What is a cherub? A cherub is an angel with wings. You know, we have a church of angels called the cherubims and seraphims. And they're the ones that worship God day and night. You know, when worship also had a crusade, somebody asked him, that's the first crusade he ever had in his hometown. When there are so many people flock in his house, they couldn't sleep, they couldn't eat. Night and day they were coming because they had the miracles that God did through him. So a friend advised him, why don't you just have a crusade? Let those people leave your house. Before then he had invited the police to chase them out. And the police refused. He said, no, we don't have authority to chase anybody out of anybody's house. They're not stealing your property, they're not harming you. You can't do that. That's when he said to have that crusade. That maybe they will finally leave his house and give him rest. So anyway, one man asked that priest, he said, look, we have had so many churches. We've had cherubim and seraphim. Which one is this church you are trying to start? And said, as soon as he had that question, a voice spoke in his ear. And he gave him the answer to the question. Which was that the church of cherubim and seraphim was the church of the angels. But Celestial Church is the church of Jesus Christ himself. That was the difference between the glory of the sun and the glory of the moon. So the glory of the sun is much higher than the glory of the moon. And that's what we see today. Said he rode upon a cherub and did fly. God flew You know, God is currently surrounded by angels, and He can use any of them to get to His destination. Yes, He did fly upon the wings of the wind. He made darkness a secret place. His pavilion right about Him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness that was before Him, His thick clouds passed. Hailstones and coals of fire. Now, as God was coming, those hailstones were coming with Him to do battle. You know, all these natural disasters we call natural disasters, they are God's way of doing battle to evil people. Thunder, strikes, earthquakes, all these things, God can use them to do His bidding. He used the earthquake to swallow up Dathan, Korah, and Abiram when they opposed the man of God, Moses. So the brightness that was before Him, His thick clouds passed, His hailstones and coals of fire. The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave His voice. Hailstones and coals of fire. Let's go to Psalm 29 verse 3. So, Psalm 29 verse 3. Yeah.
The voice of the Lord is over the water. The God of glory thunders.
Yes.
The Lord is over many waters.
That's
The
it.
voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is full of majesty.
So it's thunder on many waters. When God speaks, He's like thunder. You know, it reverberates. Like you speak in a valley and the sound is bouncing against all the mountains. That's God's voice. So God spoke. When He spoke, hailstones and coals of fire came down to do justice to His enemies. So we see that God can respond to the call of a man. You know? In so many times in the Bible, God responded to a man. We know the time of Joshua, when they were going to war, Joshua prayed that God should hold the sun and the moon, and they stood still until Joshua avenged himself on his enemies. God made the sun to stay all day and the moon to stay all night, just because of the prayer of Joshua. So God can respond to a man. You know, depends on the position that man has with God. If he's very precious on God's side, God will respond to whatever you ask Him to do, He will do it. You know? So if our way of life is pleasing to God, He will respond to our prayers. He will come down Himself to deliver us. You know? In case of Daniel said He sent His angel to do what? To shut the mouths of lions set against to eat him. So will God shut mouths of the lions sent against us to devour us. And as God responded to King David's prayer, so will He respond to my prayer and your prayer. When we cry to Him in an earnest cry from the bottom of our hearts, when our ways are clean and pure before Him, He will respond and He Himself will come and deliver us. The best way was